Bank Independent has been such a great partner because not only are they taking the stress of the finances off of our plate, but they're investing in us as we're investing in them. And I think that is a strong partnership. The spirit of what Bank Independent does is right there in the name.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather, live at 5.
Hey, Fred Gossage here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center on this Tuesday afternoon, live at 5 with your latest forecast update. We are in the process of spinning up all of our coverage operations here back into regular mode after having to work at home for the past couple days because of the big winter storm. So we're getting back to normal here at Tennessee Valley Weather. Other folks, not so much after the big ice storm across parts of the area over the weekend. Here's Sam Camp out in the field with the live shot from Tishomingo County, Mississippi, showing you live footage here of the intense tree damage that's out there in parts of Tishomingo County. After being in Waterloo at the time of the midday show with Taylor earlier, Sam checked out Iuka and also J.P. Coleman State Park out there, and it is quite a mess from all the ice accumulation, and it's not just here. It looks like this up in Hardin County, Tennessee, and over in the western Lauderdale and Colbert counties and northwest Franklin County in Alabama, and then up into Wayne County, Tennessee, Lewis County, northwestern areas of Lawrence County, Tennessee, up into Murray County, and then all the way up into the Nashville metro area. It's a big mess from the winter storm, major tree damage, still lots of power outages out there, although the crews are working hard to try to get those outages restored. It takes the time after something like this with all the damage that's ongoing. I think we're going to try to get Sam up toward the Hohenwald area tomorrow during the daytime for some live shots there. And then we're going to kind of scale back away from this. We've had live shots here for the past few days, either out in the field or with interviews from crews or EMA officials and what have you across the affected areas. But we're going to do a little bit more of that tomorrow and then start to focus on current and future weather. Not too much big in the future here, except for more Arctic air as we head into the latter part of the week. I'm going to start with the Arctic Air Skycam Network here live at 5 o'clock. And you see the Columbia shot in the bottom right here quadrant, and still significant ice accumulation. Murray County, Tennessee was hit very hard as well with the weekend ice storm. Elsewhere across the area, clouds are increasing as we head into the evening hours of our Tuesday, and those are going to act as a little bit of an insulating blanket for the overnight. We're still going to be chilly and maybe even a little bit of freezing fog overnight, but we're not going to be well down into the lower teens. It may actually be upper teens and lower 20s instead. Here's a look at Viper Live Doppler radar brought to you by Fuller Services in North Alabama. And the radar is clear. We're not expecting any precipitation out there. Temperatures have been up between the mid 30s to even making a run in a few places at 40 degrees this afternoon. Still 38 in Decatur, 37 in Huntsville. And then dropping below freezing here from Lawrenceburg and Lewisburg back toward Iuka and Savannah, where you have the thicker ice still on the ground out here west of the Natchez Trace Parkway. We're going to get cold tonight, and with the cold ground, even though we're only going to be lower 20s with how cold the ground is, it's probably a safe idea for you to drip the faucets as a just in case for the overnight hours, even though we're not going to be quite as cold tonight as we have been the past few overnights. You can see the mid to high level cloud cover already streaming in. That will continue into tonight. No precipitation with that, but that will act as a little bit of an insulating blanket. So we're not quite as chilly, even though we're still cold. Upper teens to lower 20s out there for overnight lows with a light west to northwesterly wind. We're going to be back into the mid to upper 30s to lower 40s for daytime highs on our Wednesday. A couple degrees, quote unquote, warmer than we were today, and certainly an improvement from the weekend. But with mostly clear skies tomorrow night, except for some patchy freezing fog, we're not going to have that insulating blanket over us. So we're back into the mid to upper teens area wide for overnight lows on our Wednesday night into daybreak on Thursday morning. A mix of sun and clouds here for Thursday. And then the next push of Arctic air comes into the area on Friday with the system diving in from the northwest. There could be a few light flurries with this Friday night into Saturday, but we don't expect any impactful weather here in the Tennessee Valley in southern middle Tennessee or North Alabama. I think you have to go east of here from eastern Tennessee over into the Carolinas and Georgia, up into the mid-Atlantic for any impactful wintry weather, but a couple of flurries certainly possible Friday and the Saturday. But you can see that big East Coast storm starting to take shape there as we head into the weekend. That's going to be moving off to the east. A mix of sun and clouds into Sunday, and maybe another shot of some flurries as we head into Monday with another clipper before we start to ease the temperatures back into milder weather heading in the next week. But big time cold coming over the weekend. Just as cold is what it was Sunday night into Monday around here. Here's a look at daytime and nighttime wind chill values for the next 7 days. And you can see here over the weekend, we're talking about wind chill values down below zero here Friday night, Saturday, and near zero Saturday night into Sunday. Friday into Saturday, we're also going to have really gusty winds with that next Arctic front coming through. I was looking at some of the NWS grid forecast data, had wind gusts during that time as high as 30 miles per hour Friday night into Saturday. So really going to feel brutally cold if you have to be out there. But the good news is, once we get past that, it is an uphill swing here. I think we're talking about lower 40s as early as Tuesday of next week. And then going into the middle to latter part of next week, unless things change again, we may be getting closer to 50 degrees for daytime highs. We just have some cold air to get through in between now and then, but maybe some help is on the way as we head into next week. We just got to get there first. Your overnight forecast for tonight, increase in clouds, becoming mostly cloudy, lows for most of us into the lower 20s, but there could certainly be some upper teens here and there as we head on into our Wednesday. Cloudy during the morning, but sunshine increasing by midday in the afternoon, so we'll call it decreasing clouds. Daytime highs into the upper 30s for most of us out there. It'll be a range between the mid 30s and the lower 40s. That's how the spread will go. Back into the teens tomorrow night, lower 40s, I think, area-wide for Thursday. And then the Arctic air arrives again Friday and the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Monday, there could be a few light flurries, but not expecting any impactful weather from that. And then we finally start to moderate what looks like the beginning of a surefire moderating trend as we head toward the middle part of next week. That's a look at your latest 7-day forecast. I'll be back at 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock with another check of your local weather.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.